Well, very good afternoon and welcome to college baseball right here on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network as we get set for West Texas A&M as the Buffaloes hosting UT Permian Basin. The Falcons come into this one today. Well, they've struggled here in Canyon. In fact, they're still looking for their first win at Wilder Park in Canyon. And today, a kind of cloudy to sunny, partly sunny kind of a day, but cool as a cold front came through here yesterday. Brought some snow, and then from there, it slowly warmed up today. Nevertheless, the Buffs come in with a record of 16-6, 14-6 in LSC play, while UT Permian Basin comes in with a 9-15 overall record and a 9-15 record in the Lone Star Conference. For the Falcons, last week they took on St. Edwards, and the Hilltoppers took care of them in Odessa by a combined score of 39-20 to pull a sweep over the Falcons in Odessa. Cooper Zielinski leads the way offensively for the Falcons as the freshman outfielder from Monument, Colorado, is hitting .333 on the season. He has 7 doubles, 5 homers, and to dive in a team-high 19 runs so far this season, and a slugging percentage of .615. He's also walked 12 times and has struck out 18. Gabe Kreider, of course, is the head coach for the Falcons. He's in his first season at the helm. He comes to Odessa following 4 seasons as the head coach at Ottawa University in Ottawa, Kansas, where he led the Braves to the KCAC championship and a mark of 43-10 during the 2022 campaign. Kreider holds a career record of 126-79, coaching 4 NAIA Americans at Ottawa. As we talked about in this series, the Buffs have the advantage as they hold a commanding 24-1 series lead with the Falcons. The Buffs swept past the Falcons by a combined score of 30-6 last season in Odessa. UTPB is 0-11 all-time inside the Buffalo Sports Park. As we take a look at what will take place today, as far as the starters for today, for UTPB, they will send Creed Jeffers, a junior, to the hill. He has a 2-2 record on the season, is a 6.75 earned run average. He's appeared in 12 games. He's only started 1, so this will be his second start of the season. He's pitched 22 2/3 innings, and he's allowed 30 hits, 21 runs, 17 of those earned. He has walked 13 and struck out 24. Teams are batting .319 against the right-hander. Creed comes into this one from Ramona, California, and Ramona, Ottawa, Kansas, where he played as well. For the Buffaloes will be Nick Marshall, the usual Friday starter, who will get the start as a 3.62 earned run average. A 4-0 record, and we'll talk more about Nick in just a moment as the Buffs come into this one after having a good sweep in Cameron last week to improve to 14-6 in LFC play, and of course 16-6 overall. For the Buffaloes, the expected starters: Mike Manetta, Ryan Johnson, Adam Becker, Will Fenning, Eddie Savoy, Corey Schmidt, Patrick Donovan, Evan Leibel will catch today, and Kix Farrell will be the shortstop in this one this afternoon. And again, Nick Marshall, the right-hander, the junior, will get the start for the Buffaloes. As we get set for this one, again, on a kind of sun-splashed afternoon, there is a lot of clouds, but still the sun is out currently here at Wilder Park. 41 degrees is our game time temp. Actually, we'll say it's warmed up to 43 all the way. Wind out of the north at 6 miles an hour, but right now the American flag out in left field is limp, so not too much wind coming into this one, but it could play a factor in this one today. We'll want to take a timeout. We'll do so and come back with our first pitch. But first, this break on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
This is a walk-on athlete. They train longer, put their heart into the game. This is the passion we're built on. It's why we put our heart into creating game day with a taste of Louisiana. Walk-ons, we live for this.
Jenkins Doors and Windows began serving the Texas Panhandle in 1927, and we take pride in being a part of your neighborhood. We don't use false promises or gimmicks. We simply offer quality doors and windows at a fair price, and we stand behind every sale. Jenkins is family owned and operated, and proudly continues the traditions of quality and excellence that started over 80 years ago. Call us at 372-4336 or stop by our showroom at 820 West 6th and let our knowledgeable staff help you pick out the perfect doors and windows for your home.
And our national anthem set for this one today between UTPB Falcons. They are wearing their orange uniforms, all orange with black numerals, getting set to take on the WT Buffaloes. The Buffs come into this one, well, again, with a record of 14-6, taking on UTPB with a 9-15 record on the season. And so as we look at the Lone Star Conference quickly, we'll do so more in depth as the game progresses. But right now, of course, still leading the way, Angelo State. With a 21-3 record overall, St. Edwards is next 14-5, and then the Buffaloes at 14-6, followed by UT Tyler at 16-8. So we are about set to get this one underway for today. And here's the starting lineups. First for UTPB, it'll be Mason Hamlin. He will lead things off. He is playing in left field. Michael Clapperton, the shortstop, bats second. Carson Johnson, the second baseman, is third. And then Cooper Soslinski, he is in center field, and he bats fourth. Jake Haggerty in left field will bat fifth. Taylor McDaniel is the DH today. He will bat sixth. Austin Hall at first base will bat seventh. Ethan Babcock-Barre, he is the catcher. He'll bat eighth. And Brandon Golowski is the third baseman. He will bat ninth in this one today. Creed Jeffers, of course, gets the start. And for the Buffaloes, as they get set in this one, the starting pitcher for today is Nick Marshall. And Marshall comes into this one. Again, he has had a pretty good start, obviously, to the season. As Nick comes in with a record of 4-0. The junior right-hander from Antigua, Wisconsin. First hit is hit up the middle for a base hit. So Mason Hamlin gets aboard with a single. And UTPB starts things off early here as Hamlin, a freshman from Falcon, Colorado, 6'3", 195-pound freshman, of course, playing in left field today. He batted first. Second up will be Michael Clapperton. Clapperton batting from the right side. First pitch swing is a strike. Already we got a little bit as coming out of the dugout, Matt Vandenberg, he was wanting a strike on that one, which he got, and thought it was caught, but he said the catcher did not make an effort on that. Bunt is showed as, they called a ball, that's what it is, and Mason Hamlin down at second base. In fact, they may have called for interference there, but that was not the case. So Hamlin on second base, had a single and then a stolen base. Michael Clapperton with a 1-1 count takes a look at a ball. So he's up ahead in the count, 2 balls and a strike. Clapperton, batting 129 this senior. He's a senior from Calgary, Alberta. Clapperton shows a bunt again. That time was high for a ball. So runs the count to 3-1. Nick Marshall, again, a cool afternoon. So he works his way back up to the hill. Gets set. Again, bunt showed, comes home with it, and that's a strike on the outside corner. So that runs the count full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. So a leadoff single for Mason Hamlin. Freshman taking his lead off the bag at second base. Michael Clapperton batting from the right side. Fouls this one off at the plate as he was off with a pitch heading to third. That keeps the count at 3-2. Carson Johnson, the second baseman, in the on-deck circle. So Clapperton settles back in, batting from the right side. His 63rd plate appearance this season. Fouls this one down the right field line and out of play. Keeps the count full at 3-2. Marshall works his way back up to the top of the hill. Nick from Antigua, Wisconsin, played at Indian Hills Community College before coming here, and again, he is the Friday starter for the Buffaloes. Oh, good breaking pitch, but they say that was high for a walk. So runners at first and second. First walk given up by Nick Marshall. So Marshall gets ready now for Carson Johnson, who shows a bunt. Bunts it down the first base line. They tag out the runner. He ran out of the baseline, so he's out, and that's why he was called out. So he is the first out. It does advance the runner, though. So both runners advance. Clapperton over at second. Hamlin at third with 1 out. And that brings up Cooper Solinsky. Solinsky, freshman from Monument, Colorado. 6 feet, 205 pounds, batting from the right side. First pitch, outside corner's a strike. And Cooper is holding down the 4 spot in the batting order. Cooper comes in with that .333 batting average. His 79th plate appearance this season. Fouls that one off for strike 2. So Cooper down in the count. Solinsky battling and takes a swing and comes up empty for a strikeout. And so that is out number 2. And that'll bring up Jack Haggerty. He's playing right field today as we watch this strikeout right here. And again, just a great offering by Nick Marshall. And had the freshman swinging. Haggerty batting from the left side. First pitch by him for strike. There's a pitch that misses for a ball. So 1-1 count on Haggerty. Jack from Mission Viejo, California. Played at Irvine Valley College. He's a 5'9", 170-pound sophomore batting from the left side. He is the right fielder for UTPB. Takes a swing and an off-speed pitch he's out in front of, and he's down in the count. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Sure to get aboard Taylor McDaniel in the on-deck circle. Marshall takes a look in, comes home with it, and that one misses on the outside corner. It evens the count at 2-2. Pitch misses, but running it down and keeping it in front of him is Evan Leibel. Junior catcher prevented the base runner from moving. Third base is Mason Hamlin, who had a leadoff single. He's advanced to third. Michael Clapperton is at second base after getting on with a walk. 2 outs. And that one's down in the dirt for ball 4. That loads the bases. So 2 walks for Nick Marshall. So that'll bring up the DH, Taylor McDaniel. McDaniel batting .500 on the season. First pitch is in there for a strike. Off-speed pitch hit down the third base line. That's foul. So that runs the count to 0-2. Nick Marshall checks the wristband on the pitch that Evan Leibel sends in. Bases are full. 2 outs. Top of the first inning. Off-speed pitch got him swinging for strike 3. And that is out number 3. So no runs on a hit. No errors. 3 left on base for Eastern New Mexico. We have played a first top half of the first as we watch Nick Marshall get his second strikeout of the inning right here as that breaking ball goes to the outside corner, and that is out number 3. So, again, the Buffaloes get out of trouble in that one after loading the bases with no runs on a hit, no errors, 3 left on base for UTPB. Be back for the bottom of the first right after this on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
This is gonna be tough. I mean, that's a bag full of Whataburger's Buffalo Ranch chicken strip sandwiches with tangy buffalo sauce and creamy buttermilk ranch, melty Monterey Jack cheese, and 3 crunchy chicken strips. How long will you have to wait before you enjoy yours? Oh, about that long. Whataburger's Buffalo Ranch chicken strip sandwich is back for a limited time, just like you like it.
As we get set for the bottom of the first for the Buffaloes, their lineup will look at like this. Leading off will be Mike Manetta, the second baseman for the Buffaloes, the senior. He'll be followed by senior Ryan Johnson, and then senior Adam Becker playing at third base. Will Finning bats fourth, followed by Eddie Savoy, Corey Schmidt, Patrick Donovan, Evan Leibel, and Kix Farrell. So ball 1 to Mike Manetta. Manetta fouls this one off and out of play. So a 1-1 count on the Buffs' second baseman. Mike settles in, batting from the left side. Outside pitch misses for a ball. Looks at a pitch inside for a ball. So 3 balls and a strike for the Buffs' leadoff man, Mike Manetta. Manetta batting .339 on the season. Looks at ball 4. And so he gets a leadoff walk against Creed Jeffers.
That leadoff walks brings up number 30, Brian Johnson.
Again, Jeffers, who has pitched in 22 2/3. He's only started one game. He's made 12 appearances this season. This is his second start. And that'll bring up Ryan Johnson. Pitch inside for a ball, just misses. Johnson batting from the right side. Albuquerque Sr. fouls this one off and out of play. So that evens the count at 1-1. That's fouled off and out of play. So 1 ball and 2 strikes now as Ryan is down in the count. Johnson batting .358. This is his 82nd plate appearance this season. Sends this one out into right center field for a base hit. And Mineta stops at second base, so runners at first and second. This is how the top half of the first started off, except in reverse. It was a leadoff single for UTPB and then a walk. For the Buffaloes, it's Mineta with a walk and then Johnson with a single. That brings up the Lone Star Conference preseason player of the year, Adam Becker, the Buff third baseman, the senior, batting from the right side. Drives this one out in for a base hit, out into center field, or left center field, and Mike Mineta will come around to score as the Buffs take an early 1-0 lead as Adam Becker gets a single. And that'll bring up Will Finning. The Buffs right fielder. Finning batting from the right side. Batting .329. Looks at a pitch in there for a strike. I don't think Will agreed. Fanning settles in as Jeffers checks the wristband on the pitch. The pitch is high for a ball. Everybody kind of shifted to the left a little bit. Second baseman playing about 3 steps off the bag at second. Big open hole between first and second. And in right center field for Will Finning. Jeffers comes home with it. It's going to be low for a ball. Finning batting from the right side, settles back in, ready to go. Should Will get aboard Eddie Savoy in the on-deck circle. That's inside for a ball. So Will Finning has worked the count to 3-1. It's Jeffers. Checks the wristband once again. Runners at first and second for the Buffs. Becker at first. Johnson at second. That's inside for a ball and a walk. That's the second walk for Jeffers that loads the bases for the Buffaloes.
That ball brings up number 10, Eddie Savoy.
That'll bring up Eddie Savoy, the first baseman for the Buffs. Batting .324. His 75th plate appearance. Batting from the right side. Off-speed pitch, a nice one, is in there for a strike. Savoy settles back in. Even stance. Batting from the right side. Johnson takes his lead at third. Not much of a lead for anybody. That pitch is inside for a ball. Evens the count at 1-1. Corey Schmidt, the DH, in the on-deck circle. Savoy, off-speed pitch, got him out in front. That was a good pitch. Eddie down in the count 1-2 on the off-speed offering. Jeffers again checks the wristband. That pitch misses for a ball. So that evens the count at 2-2. That's fouled off at the plate. Keeps the count at 2-2. Savoy, so far this season, he has 24 hits, 3 doubles, and a home run. He's driven in 21. Got an opportunity to bring in a couple of more right here. Sends this one skyward. It's infield. I think the pitcher is taking charge. Jeffers is, and pulls that in for pop up to the pitcher for out number 1 for the Buffaloes. And that'll bring up Corey Schmidt.
Now batting number 8, Corey Schmidt.
Schmidt, the junior. Played at Dodge City Community College. 6'4", 200-pound junior, batting from the right side from Liberty Hill, Texas. Bases still stay full for Schmidt. First pitch is low for a ball. Should Corey get aboard, Patrick Donovan, center fielder in the on-deck circle. Jeffers again checks the wristband. This one's head down the right field line, giving chase, and that one, it does go foul. It was right at the foul pole. Turns into a long strike for Corey Schmidt. That evens the count at 1-1. Schmidt batting 347. It's his 50th plate appearance. He has 17 hits, 2 doubles, a triple, and 4 home runs. He's driven in 19. Down the right field line, fouling out of play. So Corey now down in the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Schmidt batting from the right side. Fouls this one off again. Keeps the count at 1-2. Creed Jeffers. Again with a record of 2-2. This is his 13th appearance this season. The right-hander comes home with it, and that's going to be low for a ball. That evens the count at 2-2. He's allowed 34 hits so far this season. That's going to be out into right field. Coming on to make the catch is the right fielder. As nice play in shallow right for Jack Haggerty. So Corey Schmidt flies out to right for out number 2. But he does drive in a run as Ryan Johnson tags and come home, and the Buffs lead this one 2-0. Fenning stays at first, Becker at second. Patrick Donovan batting from the left side. First pitch is inside for a ball. Patrick batting .314 this season. Runners on base, he's batting .391. And even with 2 outs, he's batting .357. Has 11 hits. Driven in 7 so far this season. He's walked 7 times. He's struck out nice. He has 9 times. He has a double, a triple, and a home run. Donovan settles back in, ready to go. Playing center field in today's game. Looks at a strike. So that evens the count at 1-1. Evan Leibel in the on-deck circle, then kicks Farrell. Donovan is the 7th batter in the inning for the Buffs. They lead it 2-0 with 2 aboard, 2 outs. That one's inside. Nice stop, though, by the catcher, Ethan Babcock-Beret. So Donovan settles back in, batting from the left side. Fouls this one off at the plate. So 3 balls and 2 strikes for Patrick Donovan. Patrick settles back in, ready to go, batting from the left side. Got a full count. Runners will be off with the pitch. That's drilled down the left field line, fouling out of play. One thing about it, they are making Creed Jeffers work. This is going to be his 28th pitch here in the first inning. Creed checks the wristband, checks the runner at second, and they got the outside corner as Donovan thought that was ball 4, but that was a strikeout for out number 3. And so the Buffaloes get 2 runs on 2 hits, no errors in the inning, and 2 left on base as we watch this strikeout right here. Good pitch from Jeffers on the outside corner. Got Donovan looking. And so after 1 complete, the Buffs lead this one 2-0. We'll take a timeout and be back for the top of the second after this on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
Link is now Optimum, with award-winning internet, TV, and mobile, giving you the power to get closer and go farther with speed and reliability. With our new 100% fiber internet we're building, together with Optimum Mobile, voted #1 in customer satisfaction, you'll get the complete connectivity you deserve. And when you combine Optimum's award-winning connectivity with our 24/7 customer service, your future is only a connection away.
Well, Nick Marshall is out for his second inning of work as he comes out to the plate with his club scoring 2. That gives him a 2-0 lead. Here as we go to the top of the second for UTPB, the Falcons. It'll be 7, 8, 9 to bat. Austin Hall, followed by Ethan Babcock-Beret. Brendan Glauke. Here's a quick hit over to Adam Becker. On to first in time for the putout. So Austin Hall is retired 5-3 for out number 1. That'll bring up the catcher, Ethan Babcock-Berry, a sophomore, batting .333 on the season. This is his 28th plate appearance. First pitch swinging, fouled off and out of play. Barry has 9 hits so far this season. Looks at a pitch in the inside corner that misses for a ball. That runs the count to 1-1. That pitch is in there for a strike. That one misses for a ball. So that evens the count at 2-2 as Nick Marshall, working quicker here in the second inning, comes home with it, and that one's fouled off and out of play. Keeps the count at 2-2. Barry batting .333. He has an on-base percentage of .441 this season. Looks at a pitch outside for a ball. So a full count for the Falcon catcher. Batting from the right side, settles in, ready to go. Sends this one towards second base. Mike Mineta has it over to first in time for the 4-3 putout. So that's out number 2. And that'll bring up the third baseman for UTPB. Bring up Brandon Glowacki. Glowacki batting from the right side. First pitch is going to be low for a ball. Glowacki is 6'1", 180-pound sophomore from Lakeside, California. Played at Wagner College before coming to UTPB. Pitch on the outside corner is there for a strike. Good fastball from Nick Marshall. Pitch outside misses for a ball. That pitch misses outside for ball 3. So Glowacki ahead in the count, 3 balls and a strike. Again, Nick Marshall working much quicker here in the second inning. This is driven out to right field for a base hit. Fenning gets it and throws it in, but Glowacki, who was batting .088, as he came to the plate, able to get a hold of that one and send it out for a base hit. Then we go to the top of the order, Mason Hamlin. Hamlin, the freshman, singled his last at bat. Only one senior for UTPB starting today. Quick throw to first. Glowacki is back. Marshall keeping tabs of Glowacki. This one's fouled off down the right field line and out of play. That's thrown down the third base line and foul. So no 2 count on Mason Hamlin, who singled in his first at bat. That one's fouled down the right field line and out of play. Outside that misses. So 1 ball and 2 strikes for the left fielder for University of Texas at Permian Basin down in Odessa. Hamlin, check swing is there for strike 3, and that's it. As he is a strikeout victim for out number 3. So no runs on a hit, no errors, and one left on base. We have played 1.5. The Buffs lead at 2-0. We'll take a timeout. Be back after this on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
West is the comprehensive fundraising campaign designed to fuel WT 125 from the Panhandle to the world. We will strengthen WT's impact for the Panhandle region and beyond through a historic, comprehensive campaign raising $125 million by 2025. The campaign's 3 priorities: people, programs, and places. Now is the time to make a difference for current and future generations. One West.
When you choose natural gas, chocolate chip cookies get a little tastier. Homes get a little cozier. Bank accounts tend to put on some weight. Towels get fluffier. Showers stay hotter for longer. And our blue planet gets a little greener. When it comes to choosing energy that's clean and efficient, nothing else could be more American. Atmos Energy, your natural gas company.
Well, as we go to the bottom of the second inning, Creed Jeffers gets his final warm-up tosses in. The 6'2", 190-pound junior from Ramona, California, played at Ottawa, Kansas before coming over to UTPB. And he will face Evan Leibel, batting in the 8th spot, the Buffalo catcher. Settles in to bat from the left side. First pitch is in there for a strike. Leibel batting .295. Does have an on-base percentage of .405 this season. Looks at a ball, so he evens the count at 1-1. This is his 62nd plate appearance. He has 18 hits. He's driven in 18 this season, and he scored 11 runs. Off-speed pitch got him out in front. So Evan down in the count 1-2. Get a cool afternoon here in West Texas. They were kind of watching the conditions, and they moved this game up. Fouled off at the plate. Keeps the count at 1 ball and 2 strikes. This game originally was set for 7 this evening, but they were fearful of the weather, and so they moved this one up. Start early this afternoon. Leibel sends this one down the left field line, fouling out of play. Leibel, the junior from Los Alamos, California, played at Oklahoma. Outside misses for a ball. So that evens the count at 2-2. Jeffers, the far right side of the pitching rubber. This is sent out to center field, and circling underneath the pole, that one in, is Cooper Zielinski. And that is out number 1.
Now batting number 17, Kix Farrell.
That'll bring up Kix Farrell, senior shortstop from Memphis, Texas. Kix batting from the right side. Shows bunt and then ducks out of the way as that one comes inside. So Kix ahead in the count 1-0. Farrell this season batting .375. It's his 9th plate appearance. That one hits him. So Farrell is aboard.
That hit by pitch brings us back to the top of the buff order with number 21, Mike Moneta.
So that brings up Mike Moneta. Moneta, who walked and scored his first plate appearance this afternoon. Batting .339. Runner off and going, and that one fouled off at the plate. So Mike's down in the count, 0-1. Farrell, will see, he measures his lead. He took off with that first pitch. See if he does the same thing here. Creed checks him out and comes home with it. It's in there for a strike. So Mike Monetta's down in the count. 0-2. Moneta batting from the left side. From Farmingdale, New York, the senior settles in, ready to go. That one misses for a ball, and catcher Ethan Babcock-Berry thought that was strike three. He got up ready to go around the horn. So 1 ball and 2 strikes for the senior second baseman for the Buffaloes. Outside misses for a ball. So Moneta brings the count back even at 2-2. Kicks Farrell, checks his lead off the bag at first. Now kind of measures it a little further. He's off with a pitch, and this is hit towards the second baseman. His only play is over to first, and so Moneta sacrifices the runner over. He was retired 4-3. For out number 2. And that'll bring up Ryan Johnson, who singled and scored his last at bat in the first inning. Ryan batting .366. Batting from the right side, settles in as Jeffers checks kicked Farrell at second base. And that's ball 1 to Ryan Johnson. Senior from Albuquerque, batting from the right side. It's going to be low for ball 2. You can tell that Creed Jeffers is worried about kicks Farrell and his speed over at second base as he double clutched on that one. Doesn't have much of a lead, but the second baseman is right behind the bag, so he's keeping him close. Pitch is inside for a ball. So 3 balls, no strikes for Ryan Johnson. Corey Hall over at third base, coaching for the Buffaloes. That is inside for ball 4. So Ryan Johnson gets aboard with a walk. This is the third walk given up by Creed Jeffers.
Now batting number 22.
And a quick conversation coming out as Gabe Kreider come out to visit with the right-hander. There's nobody warming up, so this is just more or less just, I think, getting a feel of how the pitcher feels. And a rather long conversation that the home plate umpire is going to go out and break it up. And as he starts to head that way, they settle in and Creed is ready to go. So that'll bring up Adam Becker, who singled, drove in the first run for the Buffaloes. His last at bat with runners at first and second. Becker settles in, ready to go against the junior right-hander. And he drives that out to left field. That's going to be a base hit. Oh, sliding up. Yeah, there's going to be a hit. As not able to come up with that one is the left fielder. I thought for a minute that was going to be an easy hit, but Mason Hamlin at least made it a play got a glove on it, but just couldn't pull it in. So you watch on the replay here. That drives home another run for the Buffaloes. And so Adam Becker has his second hit and second RBI of the game as Kix Farrell comes home to score. That'll bring up Will Fenning, 2 outs. Runners at first and third for Fenning. First pitch swinging, sends this one down the first base line. Circling underneath is the first baseman, and able to glove it and pull that one in was Austin Hall. So that ends the second inning as the Buffs do score a run on one hit. There were no errors in the inning and 2 left on base. As we complete 2, the Buffs lead this one 3-0. We'll take a timeout. Be back after this on Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
80 years, the Lone Star Conference has been committed to excellence. What began in 1931 as a 5-team conference has grown to 18 institutions spanning 4 states. And while membership has changed, the pursuit of athletic success and academic excellence has never wavered. 119 national championships, over 2,000 All-Americans, and nearly 300 academic All-Americans. Celebrating 90 years of success, this is the Lone Star Conference.
This is a walk-on athlete. They train longer, put their heart into the game. This is the passion we're built on. It's why we put our heart into creating game day with a taste of Louisiana. Walk-ons, we live for this.
Well, it is a bit of a cool afternoon. Some folks that are in the stands are finding blankets or whatever cover they could find. Again, our game time temp was 43, but the wind was out of the north at 6. That made it feel like about 37. So a cool afternoon as we started this one today. Nick Marshall on for his 3rd inning of work. First pitch is in there for a strike. Is Michael Clapperton, the only senior starting for UTPB. Walked his last at bat. Now he sends this one out to center field. Patrick Dunneman kind of circles underneath and pulls that one in. And so a fly out to center for out number 1. A nice hit from Clapperton. And that'll bring up the second baseman, Carson Johnson. Carson 0 for 1 at the plate today. He tried to bunt the runners around that were on base, and he was tagged out by the first baseman. So he's ahead in the count 2-0. Again, the cool temperature, and that's what we said, Nick Marshall is working much quicker here today. Marshall comes home with it, and that is in there for a strike. Cooper Solinsky in the on-deck circle. This is hit out to right field. Will Fenning circles underneath and pulls that one in on a fly out to right for out number 2. And that'll bring up Cooper Solinsky, who struck out his last at-bat.
Number 9, Cooper Solinsky.
Cooper Solinsky, first pitch swinging is a foul. Freshman batting from the right side, settles in a bit of a closed stance. Looks at ball 1. So that evens the count at 1-1. Sosilski looks at a pitch on the outside corner that misses for ball 2. So he's ahead in the count, 2 balls and a strike. Silski's pitch on the outside corner misses for ball 3. So he's ahead in the count, 3 balls and a strike. Marshall now, again, he's been working quicker on the second and third pitches. Then he kind of slows here for the 4th pitch. That's going to be hit down the third base line, fouling out of play. So that runs the count full to 3 balls and 2 strikes. Becoming a bit more overcast here at Wilder Park. Now 1 strike 3 on the inside corner. And that is out number 3. And so that is the 4th strikeout for Nick Marshall. No runs on no hits, no errors, and nobody on base. As you watch strikeout number 3, Cooper looks at it. And that one comes on the inside corner for strike 3. And so he is retired, and so too are the Falcons. We'll take a timeout, be back for the bottom of the 3rd after this on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
It's got the looks, the style, the performance. Your new car is everything you always dreamed of, and now it's here. First Financial Bank was happy to help put you behind the wheel with a new car loan at a competitive rate and fast, friendly, local approval. It's service that just comes naturally to us. Much like a love of tradition comes naturally to you. First Financial Bank. You first. Member FDIC.
Well, Eddie Savoy will lead things off for the Buffaloes here. For the Buffs, it will be the 5, 6, and 7 batters in the lineup. First pitch swinging is a foul ball. So Savoy popped up to the pitcher, but it was a high pop-up. That was to Creed Jeffers, who's working in his 3rd inning of work. Off-speed pitch is fouled off and out of play. So Savoy down in the count 0-2 as he settles in. The senior from sends this one down the right field line, fouling out of play. From Montreal, Quebec, playing first base. And he usually plays the right side of the infield, either first, sometimes second. Sends this one out into left center field, and that's going to slide underneath. Nice catch by the center fielder as Cooper Sasilski comes up and makes that catch. So Savoy flies out for out number 1. Then I bring up Corey Schmidt, who flew out to right field his last at bat. Corey batting .347, settles in ready to go, batting from the right side. Schmidt, a junior, looks at ball 1. Corey from Liberty Hill, batting from the right side. Set a pitch down low for a ball. His last at bat, he able to run the count even at 2-2 before popping one out into right field. Did drive in a run, though. Second run of the ball game. Looks at strike 1. So 2 balls and a strike for the designated hitter for the Buffaloes. That's hard hit down the third base line, but fouling out of play. So Jeffers waits for his left fielder to get back in place. Now settles in, ready to go. Schmidt fouls that one off at the plate. So 2-2 count for the DH. Patrick Donovan in the on-deck circle. Schmidt settles back in as the sun comes back out. Jeffers comes home with it, and that inside corner just misses. And you could hear the UTPB fans that are here thought that was a strike, and so too did the coaching staff, including head coach Gabe Kreider. And now he's having a long conversation with the dugout for UTPB. Schmidt ready to go. Sends this one past the diving first baseman for a base hit. Corey Schmidt gets aboard with a single. So that's the fourth hit for the Buffaloes. And that'll bring up the center fielder, Patrick Donovan, who struck out his last at bat. Donovan, who worked the count full, thought the pitch on the outside missed, but the umpire said that was strike three. Settles in, batting from the left side. First pitch swinging, and that is right at the second baseman, who hops up and pulls that one in. That is out number 2 for Donovan. Also from Scottsdale, Arizona, along with Will Fenning. That'll bring up Evan Leibel, the catcher, who flew out to center field his last at bat. Pops this one up down the left field line, and the third baseman, Glowacki, gives a chase and pulls a glove up and able to get that one on a pop to third for out number 3. So no runs for the Buffs on one hit, or no errors, and one left on base. We have played 3 complete. West Texas leads this one 3-0 as we go to the top of the 4th. We'll take a timeout and be back after this on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
Bud Light, proudly brewed
in the heart of Texas. We are Carpet Tech, and we are family. More than carpet cleaners, we're a team. Diving right in, not afraid to invest in our work and each other. We're killing it day in and day out, never shrinking from a challenge. Our people are 1 part passion, 1 part grit, and about a zillion parts awesome. And we are always looking to add to our family. So what are you waiting for?
Well, Nick Marshall comes out for his 4th inning of work. So far for Marshall, he's dropped the ERA down from 3.62 when he started to 3.31. He's pitched 3 innings. He allowed 2 hits. He's walked 2, and he's struck out 4. Has his pitch count fairly low going into the 4th at 53 pitches. First pitch is in there for a strike for Jack Haggerty. Haggerty, who walked in his first plate appearance in the 1st. Batting from the left side, Haggerty batting 193. Got a pitch down low for a ball. Evens the count at 1-1. That's hit down toward first base. Leibel has it, says I've got it. So Haggerty is retired, 3 unassisted for out number 1. And so that'll bring up Taylor McDaniel, the DH. McDaniel, a freshman. from right here in Amarillo at Randall High School. Taylor, 6'3", 200-pound, batting from the right side. Open stance for the freshman. And that one hits him. So first hit batsman for Nick Marshall. And so Taylor gets aboard. And that'll bring up Austin Hall. Austin, his last at bat, he grounded out to Adam Becker at third, and they're going to wait for a moment. I think they want to make sure that, and they do. Taylor McDaniel is good to go, and he is. Takes his lead off the bag at first. Marshall comes home. That's outside for a ball. Ethan Babcock Berry in the on-deck circle, the catcher. That one misses outside for a ball. So Marshall throwing kind of wide at the plate to the right-handed batters. That one's fouled down the right field line and out of play. So 2 balls and a strike for Austin Hall. He's out of Santa Fe, New Mexico. Played at Trinidad State before coming to UTPB. Junior is 6'4", 220 pounds. Pitch is high for a ball. So 3 balls and a strike. Top of the 4th inning, Buffs lead it 3-0. Runner at first base is Taylor McDaniel. That's fouled off at the plate to run the count full. So 3 balls and 2 strikes for Austin Hall. That's strike 3 for out number 2. That is the 5th strikeout for Nick Marshall. And you walk this one, and I mean, this was just a good pitch on the outside corner right at the belt. And so that'll bring up the catcher, Ethan Babcock Berry. Southmore batting from the right side. So 2 outs here in the inning, and that's in there for a strike. Berry, who grounded out to Mike Mineta at second base, his last at bat. Batting from the right side. Looks at strike 2. He's down in the count 0-2. Berry from San Diego, California. Played at Montana State in Billings before coming to UTPB. That pitch misses outside for a ball. Berry settles in, batting from the right side. Bit of a close stance. That pitch is way outside for a ball. So that evens the count at 2-2. Brendan Glowacki, the third baseman in the on-deck circle. 2 outs. Taylor McDaniel hit by a pitch over at first base. Measures his lead off the bag at first. That one misses outside for a ball. So that runs the count full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Marshall, the slow walk around to the top of the hill. Now steps on the pitching rubber. Buffs in their home white uniforms. And runner off with that one, and say he's safe at first, but they make the throw at first in time as Kix Farrell comes up throwing, and he is out 6-3 for out number 3. As you watch this play right here, get over to the shortstop Kix, who steps on the bag at second, and then over to first in time for the putout. So no runs on no hits, no errors, one left on base. We have played 3.5. The Buffs lead this one 3-0. We'll be back after this timeout on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
It's got the looks, the style, the performance. Your new car is everything you always dreamed of, and now it's here. First Financial Bank was happy to help put you behind the wheel with a new car loan at a competitive rate and fast, friendly, local approval. It's service that just comes naturally to us, much like a love of tradition comes naturally to you. First Financial Bank, you first. Member FDIC.
Well, we go to the bottom of the fourth inning. And Kix Farrell, the shortstop for the Buffaloes, will lead things off. Be followed by the top of the order, Mike Manetta and Ryan Johnson. Farrell was hit by a pitch and scored his last at bat. He looks at strike one. Kix batting .375. Pitches outside for a ball. Evens the count at 1-1. Kix played at Chandler Gilbert Community College before coming to West Texas. Again, he and Will Fenning, both from Scottsdale, looks at a ball. UTPB dugout thinking that was an inside the corner strike. Kick settles in close to the line, close to the plate. Shows bunt. That one's popped up and out of play. So that evens the count at 2-2 on the senior. Farrell deep in the batter's box, but up close to the line, close to the plate. Sends this one towards the second baseman on 3 hops. Comes up throwing, and Farrell is retired 4-3 for out number 1. That'll send us to the top of the order.
Back to the top of the buff order with number 21, Mike Manetta.
Manetta is 0 for 1 today at the plate. He has scored a run. He walked in the first, came around to score, grounded out to second baseman in the second inning. Looks at a pitch inside for a ball. Creed Jeffers comes home with a good breaking pitch on the outside corner for a strike. That evens the count at 1-1. It's a good off-speed pitch. Creed comes home with it again, and this was right off of Creed. Manetta trying to beat the throw down to first. They're going to check him out. That one came off and hit him in the hip. He says, I'm okay. But Manetta gets aboard with a single. He just banged that off the pitcher. He's taking a long walk. Jeffers in a long conversation over either with his first baseman or with Ryan Johnson. Maybe it was his first baseman haul. And that'll bring up Ryan Johnson. Ryan is 1 for 1. He's been on base twice. And pitches inside for a ball. Ryan singled in the first, came around to score, and then walked, left stranded at third in the second. This one's fouled off down the right field line, giving Chase his haul the first baseman, but that one's out of play for a long strike. So that evens the count at 1-1. Wilder Park in Canyon, Texas, the home for the Buffaloes. Johnson settles in, ready to go. Runner off, Mineta. Here's a throw down to second. Not in time as Mineta's going to get the stolen base. So Mike off with a good jump. And just slid ahead of the tag. So runner in scoring position for Ryan Johnson. Here's the stolen base. And again, just a great jump and sliding in ahead of the tag. Temperature's warmed up a degree to 44. That's fouled off at the plate. Wind still out of the north-northeast at 5. Makes it feel like 42 right now. The wind beginning to pick up as the flag unfurls out in left field, blowing into the face of the batter. That one's hit over towards short. Long throw in time, not in play. That one's bobbled by the first baseman, so Mineta will head down to second base. Ryan Johnson is aboard. So they're going to give Ryan a hit on that one. So back-to-back hits. Have runners at first and third for Adam Becker. Becker 2 for 2 today. He's driven in 2. Adam batting .490. Raised the batting average 11 points. He's got a pitch in the outside corner there for a strike. Becker from Midland, Texas. Very familiar with UTPB right there in his backyard. Sends this one down the right field line, giving Chase as the right fielder, and that one is fouling out of play. So it becomes a long strike. Runs the count to 0-2. So Becker will come pick up the bat. Mineta goes back to third. Ryan Johnson back to first. Will Fenning in the on-deck circle for the Buffs. One out here in the bottom of the fourth. WT leading 3-0. 3 runs on 6 hits. That pitch is way inside. So Adam just ducks out of the way and then calmly steps back into the batter's box. Has that open stance, that feet out, pointed left foot pointed to left field. That's when it's past the first baseman. 1 run will come home as Becker has his 3rd hit of the ball game and drives in his 3rd run of the ball game. As the Buffs now lead 4-0, and you watch on this one, this is good hitting, just inside out. Watch it, drives it right past the first baseman. Hall was diving for it, but couldn't come up with it. And that'll bring up Will Fenning. So Fenning batting from the right side. Runners at first and second. First pitch, a hard shot hit toward the third baseman. He throws over to first in time as the runners advance. Couldn't make the play at third base, so Will Fenning sacrifices everybody over, so to speak, as he grounds out 5 2-3 for out number 2. That'll bring up Eddie Savoy. So runners at second and third for the Buffs for Eddie Savoy. Buffs lead it 4-0. 4 runs on 7 hits off of Creed Jeffers. Good pitch on the outside corner for a strike. Creed so far has walked 3, struck out 2. And there's a strike. So Eddie Savoy down the count, 0-2. Jeffers working in his 4th inning. That one misses low. That's a tough pitch to take when you're down in the count, 0-2. Just want to make sure you're sensing that one's dropping out of the strike zone. Savoy with a big open stance. Outside corner misses, runs the count full or even at 2-2. 2 balls and 2 strikes for the Buffalo first baseman. Eddie batting .316. 0 for 2 at the plate today. He's flied out and popped up. Well, that one's low for ball 3, so he's worked his way back full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Jeffers getting ready for his 86th pitch. That's hit out to center field, but that's going to be right out to the center fielder who reaches up and pulls that in for out number 3 as Savoy flies out to center for the second time. And that is out number 3. 1 run for the Buffs on 3 hits. There were no errors in the inning and 2 left on base. We have played 4 complete. Buffaloes lead this one by a count of 4-0. We'll be back after this on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
90 years, the Lone Star Conference has been committed to excellence. What began in 1931 as a 5-team conference has grown to 18 institutions spanning 4 states. And while membership has changed, the pursuit of athletic success and academic excellence has never wavered. 119 national championships, over 2,000 All-Americans, and nearly 300 academic All-Americans. Celebrating 90 years of success, this is the Lone Star Conference.
This is a walk-on athlete. They train longer and put their heart into the game. This is the passion we're built on. It's why we put our heart into creating game day with a taste of Louisiana. Walk-ons, we live for this.
Well, it's not blowing too much. As far as the wind is concerned, it's kind of light out of the north. So the U.S. flag, of course, kind of limp out in left field. But the Buffs lead at 4-0. 4 runs on 7 hits. UTPB, no runs on 2 hits. First batter facing Nick Marshall here in the 5th inning for UTPB as Kowalski hits a quick shot down to third. Becker comes up and throws out his counterpart. As Kowalski, the third baseman for UTPB, is out 5-3 for out number 1. They bring up Mason Hamlin. They appeal down to first, say that the freshman from Falcon, Colorado, did not go around. Playing for the Falcons, the left fielder looks at a pitch down low for a ball. So he's ahead in the count, 2-0. Marshall working here in the 5th. That one's off the hands, it's popped up. Leibel was trying to get over there, but stumbled coming out of his catcher's crouch. So retrieves all the paraphernalia, as you see right there, and walks back behind home plate. Gets back in the crouch and ready to go for the redelivery from Nick Marshall. That one's popped up down the right field line. Now it is Eddie Savoy giving chase, but that one is out of play. So that evens the count at 2-2.
Okay, so on those tie, just make sure like if it's a foul ball, most of the time it's going to be the first baseman or the third baseman calling.
Settling in, ready to go. Mason Hamlin with a 2-2 count. And that one misses low for a ball. He wasn't sure. He checked back to see if the umpire was going to ring him up, but it was low enough. It runs the count full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Marshall getting ready for his 72nd pitch, and that one is going to be a walk. So Mason Hamlin is aboard for the second time today. It's the 3rd walk given up by Nick Marshall. Working here in the 5th inning. Said Nick hasn't pitched a whole lot here in the game so far. 77 pitches. Pitches in there for a strike to Michael Clapperton. Clapperton has walked, has flown out to center field. 0 for 1 at the plate, batting 127 so far this season. Batting in the 2 spot. Quick throw to first base, diving back in is Hamlin. Clapperton from Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Played at Chandler Gilbert Community College. Batting from the right side. Looks at a pitch that misses for a ball. So that evens the count at 1-1. Clapperton, the shortstop. Checks the wristband, settles back in, ready to go. Batting from the right side. Marshall checks the runner at first, and Hamlin's off with a throw. Oh, and that one hit Marshall. He tried to duck out of the way, and Evan couldn't stand up. He's going to go check on his right-hander as he threw that one off of him. So the coaching staff's going to come out. It says it hit him in his left arm. He's okay. So 2 balls and a strike for Clapperton, as Mason Hamlin will get the stolen base down to second. Interesting thing is that brings Gabe Grider. That one's hit past seeing eye single into left field. Will Fenning comes up, lobs it into Savoy. So runners at the corner as Clapperton gets his first hit of the ball game. So he's at first. Mason Hamlin over at third. That'll bring up Carson Johnson, the sophomore second baseman, batting from the right side. Johnson out of Carl Junction, Missouri, and Ottawa, Kansas, where he played college ball before coming to UTPB. He looks at a ball. So he's heading the count 1-0. Pitch is low for ball 2. So Johnson, 2 balls and no strikes. So Marshall takes the long walk back up to the pitching mound. That one's in there for a strike. I say it's interesting that Grider is down in the coach's box, third base, when there's not a runner on or nobody, especially on base, runner off going, and that's going to be a strike. So Carson Johnson with a 2-2 count, but that does allow Clapperton to get to second base. Johnson, who is grounded out and flown out today, 0 for 2 at the plate. Pops this one up down the first base line and fouling out play. And I guess because Johnson tried to bunt the runners over earlier, they're having him 0 for 1 at the plate today. Batting .384 this season. Johnson fouls this one off as well. Keeps the bat alive. Still a 2-2 count for the second baseman for UTPB. So Johnson settles in, ready to go, batting from the right side. Takes a swing and comes up empty. Throw to first in time to put him out, so Johnson is a strikeout victim for out number 2. That is the 6th strikeout of the ball game for Nick Marshall.
Number 9, Cooper Ciesilski.
So that brings up the center fielder, Cooper Ciesilski. First pitch is hit toward Mineta at second base, over to first in time for the 4-3 putout for out number 3. No runs on 1 hit, no errors in the inning, and 2 left on base. We have played 4.5. The Buffs lead this one 4-0 over the Falcons. We'll take a timeout and be back after this on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
West is the comprehensive fundraising campaign designed to fuel WT 125 from the Panhandle to the world. We will strengthen WT's impact for the Panhandle region and beyond through a historic, comprehensive campaign raising $125 million by 2025. The campaign's 3 priorities: people, programs, and places. Now is the time to make a difference for current and future generations. One West.
When you choose natural gas, chocolate chip cookies get a little tastier. Homes get a little cozier. Bank accounts tend to put on some weight. Towels get fluffier. Showers stay hotter for longer. And our blue planet gets a little greener. When it comes to choosing energy that's clean and efficient, nothing else could be more American. Atmos Energy, your natural gas company.
Well, welcome back to Wilder Park, where the Buffaloes lead this one 4-0. 4 runs on 7 hits. As the Falcons, no runs on 3 hits. And that'll bring up the 6th batter in the lineup for the Buffaloes, Corey Schmidt, batting as the DH. First pitch looks at a ball. Corey is singled and flown out. He's 1 for 2 at the plate today, batting .360. Drives this one down the left field line, and that is fair. That is off the wall. Schmidt rounding first and heading towards second base will go in with a stand-up double, a leadoff double for Corey Schmidt. That is Corey's 3rd double of the season. That'll bring up the center fielder, Patrick Donovan. Donovan has struck out and popped up to the second baseman today. So Schmidt gets those sliding gloves on, or actually takes off the gloves he had on, I should say, instead of putting one on, as Donovan shows an offering, and they're going to call that strike 1 on the bunt attempt. Patrick batting .297, 0 for 2 at the plate today. Shows bunt still, lays it down. It's fouled enough. Out of play, so he's down in the count 0-2. Here, Matt Vandenberg in the background. Now talking to the players. Say, okay, you're down in the count 0-2, but find a way to move the runner over. So Donovan settles in on the left side, big open stance. That's going to be high for a ball. So 1 ball and 2 strikes for the Buffalo center fielder today. Donovan settles in, ready to go. Pops this one up and out of play. Keeps the call at 1-2. Creed Jeffers working here in the 5th inning. No action really in either bullpen. Both pitchers working here in the 5th. That's out to left field, and that is going to fall in for a base hit. So Donovan gets aboard with his first hit of the day. So that moves Corey Schmidt around to third. So runners at the corner for Evan Leibel. So Creed Jeffers heads back out to the pitching rubber. And Ethan Babcock-Berry signals in the defensive set for the Falcons with runners at the corner. So Leibel settles in ready to go, batting from the left side. Check swing. They appeal, say that he did not go around, so that is ball 1. Kicks Farrell in the on-deck circle for the Buffs. Runner at first base is Patrick Donovan. Corey Schmidt at third. That's inside for a ball. So Leibel ahead in the count 2-0. Evan, batting from the left side, settles in. Fouls this one off and out of play. So 2 balls and a strike. Leibel takes a cut but comes up empty, and he is a strikeout victim. Check it. A little early on that. It just runs the count to 2-2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes for the Buff catcher as he tried to drive that one out. Pops this one up and out of play. Keeps the count at 2-2. Evan batting .286. Has 18 hits this season. Driven in 18. Struck out 21 times. He's walked 8. Has 4 doubles, 2 home runs. Sends this one to the second baseman, slides down, throws over to second in time for the force out, but the Buffs do get a run as Corey Schmidt comes home. So nice job by Evan Leibel, gets aboard on a fielder's choice. Does drive home a run. So 1 out for the Buffs. That brings up Kix Farrell. Leibel on at first base. He's off with the pitch. And he is going to be tagged out. Thought he got off to a good start, but got thrown out. 2-4 for out number 2. So no 1 count for Kix Farrell. Fouls that one off at the plate, so he's down in the count 0-2. But first of 4 games here at the UTPB. That one got the outside corner for a strike. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. Farrell settles in, ready to go. That one misses for ball 2. So 2-2 the count. Buffs will start tomorrow at 2 o'clock. They'll play a doubleheader. Then 1 o'clock on Sunday. And an off-speed pitch. Got Farrell swinging, and he is a strikeout victim for out number 3. The Buffs do get a run on 2 hits. There were no errors in the inning and no one left on base. We have played 5 complete. The Buffs lead this one 5-0. We'll take a 1-minute time. I'll be back after this on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
Suddenlink is now Optimum, with award-winning internet, TV, and mobile, giving you the power to get closer and go farther with speed and reliability. With our new 100% fiber internet we're building, together with Optimum Mobile, voted #1 in customer satisfaction, you'll get the complete connectivity you deserve. And when you combine Optimum's award-winning connectivity with our 24/7 customer service, your future is only a connection away.
Well, we get ready for the top of the 6th inning, and leading things off will be Jack Haggerty. He'll be followed by Taylor McDaniel and Austin Hill, the 5, 6, and 7 batters in the lineup for Eastern New Mexico, or for UTPB, University of Texas, at Permian Basin. Jack Haggerty is 0 for 1 at the plate today. He is walked back in the first, left stranded at first base. And he grounded out to Eddie Savoy at first base back in the 4th. He's ahead of the count 2-0 here to start the 6th inning. I got the outside corner for a strike. Nick Marshall working here in the 6th. Outside corner misses. So 3 balls and a strike. That was in there for a strike, as Haggerty already threw the bat and was on his way down to first. So that runs the count full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. So Haggerty settles back in, ready to go out of Mission Viejo, California. Sends this one fouling out of play. Haggerty playing in right field today for UTPB. Falcons 9-15 on the season. That one's hit down the third baseline, fouling out of play. Buffaloes 16-6, 14-6 in LSC play. That one off of Marshall. That one hit him in the back, I think, and goes out for a base hit. So Haggerty aboard with a single, his first hit of the ball game. It's the 4th one given up by Marshall.
Number 15, Taylor McDaniel.
That one grazed off of him and went out into center field. I'll bring up Taylor McDaniel, the Amarillo freshman who, batting from the right side, struck out and was hit by a pitch. Inside, that misses for a ball. McDaniel went to Randall High School, right up the road. Fouls this one off and out of play. So 1 ball, 1 strike for the freshman. Taylor with an open stance. Runners off and going. Here's the throw down to second, but not in time. So they're calling, okay, now they're calling the batter out, which is Taylor McDaniel for interference. And they're sending the runner, Haggerty, back to first. So he's going to be out on interference. So you watch right here. So here's the pitch that's swung on. And then he got in front of Evan Leibel, who couldn't make the throw. And so that is going to be out number 1, and that'll bring up Austin Hall, the first baseman. So the plate umpire warning Gabe Grider now, who's complaining about the call, saying he was in the batter's box, but he turned across home plate, if you could see on the replay. Breaking ball misses inside. Marshall wanted that one on Hall. So that's ball 1. Runner back at first base is Jack Haggerty. That's hit toward Becker. Goes over to second in time for 1. On to first in time for the double play. As Adam Becker turns it, Austin Hall hits into the 5-4-3 DP. And you watch it right here, just a hard shot down to Becker at third, over to Medina, then on, over to Mike Manetta, I should say, then on to first base to Eddie Savoy for the 5-4-3 double play. No runs on 1 hit. There were no errors. Nobody left on base. We have played 5.5. WT leads this one 5-0. We're back after this on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
This is gonna be tough. I mean, that's a bag full of Whataburger's Buffalo Ranch chicken strip sandwiches with tangy buffalo sauce and creamy buttermilk ranch, melty Monterey Jack cheese, and 3 crunchy chicken strips. How long will you have to wait before you enjoy yours? Oh, about that long. Whataburger's Buffalo Ranch chicken strip sandwich is back for a limited time, just like you like it.
And Mike Manetta set to lead things off for the Buffaloes here as we go to the bottom of the 6th. Manetta, who has been on base twice today, he has walked and scored. He grounded out in the 2nd and singled and scored in the 4th. Looks at ball 1 here in the 6th. Be Mike Manetta, Ryan Johnson, and Adam Becker, 1, 2, and 3 in the batting order for the Buffaloes. Senior looks at a strike inside. That evens the count at 1-1 for the Farmingdale, New York product. Manetta, good off-speed pitch. Got him looking at that one all the way. So Creed Jeffers working here in the 6th. That's hit up the middle towards the shortstop, playing over behind second base. On in time to get Manetta raced 6-3 for out number 1.
Now batting number 30, Ryan Johnson.
Buffalo's 5 runs on 9 hits. As Ryan Johnson comes up, he is 2 for 2 at the plate today, and sends this one out into left field for a base hit, making him 3 for 3 at the plate. Ryan also scored a run in the first.
That single brings up number 22, Adam Becker.
And that brings up Adam Becker, who is already 3 for 3 today with 3 singles, and he's driven in 3 runs. Becker batting from the right side, pops this one up. They're trying to find it out in right field, and sliding over to get that one is Johnson. So Carson Johnson able to pull that one in, and that's the first time they've been able to retire Adam Becker. First pitch swinging for out number 2. And that'll bring up Will Fenning. Fenning's 0 for 2 today, batting .319. He walked once back in the first inning. Fouls this one off at the plate. So Fenning down in the count 0-1 here in the bottom of the 6th. That one's outside, and so that'll allow Ryan Johnson on that pass ball to get down to second base as that got by Babcock Berry. So runner at second base is Ryan Johnson. 2 outs for the Buffs here in the 6th. Fenning. He's going to pitch outside for a ball. So 2 balls and a strike on the senior from Scottsdale, Arizona. Fenning, who played at Paradise Valley Community College, batting from the right side, has that close stance. He's close to the plate. Keeps his hands very compact. He's going to pitch down low for a ball. So that runs the count to 3 balls and a strike. Is action in the UTPB bullpen, also in the Buffalo bullpen. Both pitchers going here in the 6th. Both starters, I should say. And that one's going to be low for a ball. So Will Fenning will walk down to first base. He is the 4th walk of the day, given up by Creed Jeffers. And that'll bring up Eddie Savoy. Savoy batting from the right side, looking for his first hit today. He's 0 for 3 at the plate. Junior from Montreal. Looks at a pitch inside for a ball. Eddie with that semi-closed stance. Fouls this one off down the right field line. So that evens the count at 1 apiece. Johnson on at second, Will Fenning on at first. Infield's playing back. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th. Off-speed pitch. Oh, late strike called on the inside corner, and Savoy didn't agree with it. So 1 ball and 2 strikes for the Buff first baseman, who settles back in. Now opens the stance much more. Powers this one high out into left field. Hamlin will circle underneath and will pull that one in. And so that'll be out number 3 on a fly out to left for Savoy. So no runs for the Buffs on a hit. There are no errors and 2 left on base. Through 6, the Buffs lead this one 5-0 over UT Permian Basin. We'll take a timeout and be back for the top of the 7th after this on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
This is a walk-on athlete. They train long, put their heart into the game. This is the passion we're built on. It's why we put our heart into creating game day with a taste of Louisiana. Walk-ons, we live for this.
Jenkins Doors and Windows began serving the Texas Panhandle in 1927, and we take pride in being a part of your neighborhood. We don't use false promises or gimmicks. We simply offer quality doors and windows at a fair price, and we stand behind every sale. Jenkins is family owned and operated, and proudly continues the traditions of quality and excellence that started over 80 years ago. Call us at 372-4336 or stop by our showroom at 820 West 6th and let our knowledgeable staff help you pick out the perfect doors and windows for your home.
Well, Nick Marshall comes out for the top of the 7th inning. Marshall has 103 pitches so far through 6. And he will face the 8 and 9 batters in the lineup, followed by the top of the order. Ethan Babcock-Berry will lead things off. Ethan batting .310. Looks at a strike on the outside corner. Berry, who has grounded out to second and grounded out to short, 0 for 2 at the plate today. That pitch misses outside for a ball. So 1 ball and a strike. Marshall working here in the 7th. It's outside for a ball. The right-hander from Antigua, Wisconsin, as this one set over to Becker on 1 hop over to first base in time for the 5-3 put out for out number 1. That'll bring up Brandon Glowacki. Brandon, the third baseman, has singled and grounded out to third. He is 1 for 2 at the plate today. He's batting .111. It's at a strike on the outside corner. Glowacki. It's at a pitch that misses for a ball. From Lakeside, California. Played at Wagner College. 6'1" sophomore batting from the right side. Marshall comes home with it. It's going to be low for a ball. So 2 balls and a strike on the third baseman for UTPB. Brandon ready. Marshall's pitch is high and tight for a ball. So 3 balls and a strike. They're probably watching Marshall right now, whether or not. And swinging on that one. Runs the count full to 3 balls and 2 strikes. That's fouled off at the plate. It's one of those that has a little sting on it. When you swing the bat, you can see Brandon looking at his hand just a little bit. He settles back in, batting from the right side. Sends this one back to Marshall on 1 hop. Marshall in her hands over to first base in time for the 1-3 putout for out number 2. So we go to the top of the order, Mason Hamlin. Hamlin today is 1 for 2 at the plate. He's also walked. Looks at a ball outside. Hamlin batting .353 in that leadoff spot for UTPB. Pitch is high for a ball. Marshall, as this one's sent high in the sky. And trying to circle underneath it is the shortstop for the Buffaloes, and Kicksfarrell pulls that one in for out number 3 on a pop-up to the shortstop. So no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody on base. We have played 6.5. The Buffs lead at 5-0. We'll go to the bottom of the 7th. But first, this break on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
West is the comprehensive fundraising campaign designed to fuel WT 125 from the Panhandle to the world. We will strengthen WT's impact for the Panhandle region and beyond through a historic, comprehensive campaign, raising $125 million by 2025. The campaign's 3 priorities: people, programs, and places. Now is the time to make a difference for current and future generations. One West.
When you choose natural gas, chocolate chip cookies get a little tastier. Homes get a little cozier. Bank accounts tend to put on some weight. Towels get fluffier. Showers stay hotter for longer. And our blue planet gets a little greener. When it comes to choosing energy that's clean and efficient, nothing else could be more American. Atmos Energy, your natural gas company.
And welcome back as we have a new pitcher in this one as Eddie Chong comes on. He's a grad student, a 6'1", 215-pound grad student from Los Angeles, California, played at the University of San Diego. The left-hander comes on in relief of Creed Jeffers, who went 6 innings, gave up 5 runs on 10 hits. And to lead things off will be Corey Schmidt. Corey doubled his last at bat. He is 2 for 3 at the plate today. Corey batting .373. Batting from the right side. The junior sends this one out into left field, and he has a base hit. So a leadoff single for Corey Schmidt. And that'll bring up Patrick Donovan.
That leadoff single brings up number 5, Patrick Donovan.
Donovan, who singled his last at bat, is 1 for 3 at the plate today. Facing the left-hander, Eddie Chong. Looks at strike 1. Evan Leibel in the on-deck circle for the Buffaloes. Chong from Los Angeles, all good off-speed pitch. That had Donovan fooled on that one. So Patrick down in the count 0-2. Good off-speed pitch again, and that had Donovan fooled once again, and he is out on strikes for out number 1. Third strikeout of the ball game for UTPB pitching. The first one for Eddie Chung as he gets a good breaking ball to come in there that Donovan was in front of. That'll bring up Evan Leibel batting from the left side as well. Pitch on the outside corner misses for a ball. Leibel settles in deep in the batter's box. That open stance. That one misses down low in the dirt. So 2 balls and a strike. Staying at first base was Corey Schmidt. Leibel batting in the 8th spot today. He'll be followed by Kix Farrell. That one's down in the dirt, gets away from the catcher, and sliding into second base is Schmidt on a pass ball. So 3 balls, no strikes for the left-handed catcher for WT, batting from the left side, I should say. And there's a strike. Leibel taking all the way. So 3 balls and a strike. Evans settles back in, ready to go. All-speed pitch is in there for a strike. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Leibel settle in again, another off-speed pitch from Eddie Chung. And that one is foul-tipped and caught, and so Leibel is out on strikes for out number 2. 2 strikeouts for Eddie Chung. And so pitch hitter coming up for the Buffaloes for Kix Farrell. Coming up will be Dylan Fesperman.
Number 16, Dylan Fesperman.
So Dylan Fesperman comes up, batting from the right side. First pitch has got a nice bender in there for a strike. Fesperman from Phoenix, Arizona, batting from the right side. 6'4", 215 pounds. Off-speed pitch had him swinging out in front. So good breaking ball. As Dylan down in the count 0-2. Chung checks the wristband, checks the runner at second, comes home with it, and that's low for a ball. Wind beginning to blow in more from the east now. Checking the runner at second, Schmidt. That's drilled out to center field, giving chase and sliding underneath it. And pulling that one in is Cecilski. He was able to get a glove on that one as Fesperman is out on a fly out to center field for out number 3. No runs on a hit. No errors. And 1 left on base. We have played 7 complete. The Buffs lead this one 5-0. We'll take a timeout. Be back after this on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
Suddenlink is now Optimum, with award-winning internet, TV, and mobile, giving you the power to get closer and go farther with speed and reliability. With our new 100% fiber internet we're building, together with Optimum Mobile, voted #1 in customer satisfaction, you'll get the complete connectivity you deserve. And when you combine Optimum's award-winning connectivity with our 24/7 customer service, your future is only a connection away.
Well, a couple of changes for the Buffaloes as we go to the top of the 8th inning. Seth Ochoa over at shortstop now for the Buffs. And the new pitcher is Justice Hayes, 5'9", 155-pound junior from Arlington, Texas. Played at Carl Albert State College. Hayes comes in with a record of 1-0. He's appeared in 8 1/3 innings. He's allowed 9 hits, 6 runs, 4 of those earned. He's walked 2. He's struck out 6. He's allowed 3 doubles so far this season. Hayes' ERA on the season, 4.32, as the right-hander throws his final warm-up tosses, gets ready for this one. Quick throw down to Ochoa as we get set for Michael Clapperton to lead things off. Clapperton, who is 1 for 2 at the plate today, has also walked. Is at 141 batting average. Clapperton batting from the right side. From Calgary, Alberta. First pitch swinging, fouls off at the plate. So Clapperton will be followed by Carson Johnson and Cooper Cecilski. Clapperton looks at a pitch on the outside corner for a strike. He's down in the count. 0-2. His last at bat, he singled and was left stranded at second base. Batting from the right side with a even stance. Outside corner misses, and Leibel tried to frame it a little bit, but umpire said no, that was outside. That one's fouled off at the plate. Keeps the count at 1-2. Buffs lead at 5 runs on 11 hits. No runs for UTPB on 4 hits. Justice Hayes in relief for his first inning of work. And the first batter he's faced. And that's golf down to Becker at third. On one hop over to first. In time for the putout. Nice dig by Eddie Savoy out of the dirt. And so nice play by Becker to get the 5-3 putout for out number 1. And again, that was Clapperton speeding down the line at first, so Becker had to hurry on the throw over to first base. Then I'll bring up Carson Johnson, the second baseman. He's 0 for 2 at the plate today. Looks at a strike. Johnson struck out his last at bat. He flew out to right field and tried to bunt some runners over in the first for a sacrifice, was thrown out there. That was a good breaking ball, but didn't get the call. So that evens the count at 1-1. So 1 ball, 1 strike for Carson Johnson. Is out of Carl Junction, Missouri. Swinging on that off-speed offering. So 1 ball and 2 strikes for Johnson. Carson batting from the right side and fouls this one off at the plate. Buffs pretty much playing straight away defensively on Johnson. Batting in the 3 spot for UTPB. That's drilled out to left field to Ryan Johnson. He circles around and pulls that one in. And so Johnson to Johnson for out number 2.
Number 9, Cooper Cecilski.
So that brings up Cooper Cecilski, who's 0 for 3 at the plate today. Batting average at .321. He struck out twice and grounded out to second base. Looks at ball 1. Should Cooper get aboard Jack Haggerty in the on-deck circle. Justice Hayes on in relief of Nick Marshall, who went 7 innings. Gave up 4 hits, walked 3, struck out 5, hit a batter. And breaking ball just misses outside. So 2 balls and a strike on Cecilski. Inside corner misses for a ball. Cooper from Monument, Colorado. 6 foot, 205-pound freshman, batting from the right side. Playing in center field today defensively for UTPB. And got on board on a walk. First time he's been aboard today. And that's the first walk given up by Justice Hayes.
Number 11, Jack Haggerty.
That'll bring up Jack Haggerty, who is 1 for 2 at the plate today. He's also walked. Haggerty batting .319 on the season. First pitch inside for a strike. That one's fouled off at the plate. So Haggerty's down in the count 0-2. Jack, the sophomore from Mission Viejo, California. Bats from the left side. That's hit out into center field, and coming on to glove that one and pull it in. Patrick Donovan for out number 3. And so a fly out for Haggerty to center field for out number 3. No runs on no hits, no errors, and 1 left on base. We have played 7.5. The Buffs lead at 5-0. We're back after this on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
90 years, the Lone Star Conference has been committed to excellence. What began in 1931 as a 5-team conference has grown to 18 institutions spanning 4 states. And while membership has changed, the pursuit of athletic success and academic excellence has never wavered. 119 national championships, over 2,000 All-Americans, and nearly 300 academic All-Americans. Celebrating 90 years of success, this is the Lone Star Conference.
This is a walk-on athlete. They train longer, put their heart into the game. This is the passion we're built on. It's why we put our heart into creating game day with a taste of Louisiana. Walk-ons, we live for this.
Well, new pitcher for UTPB is Ivan Castro, 6'4", 205-pound sophomore out of Lubbock, out of Cooper High School, played at Lubbock Christian before transferring to UTPB. And he'll face the top of the order, Mike Mineta, followed by Ryan Johnson and Adam Becker. 1, 2, and 3 in the orders for the Buffaloes. Castro, the third pitcher used today by UTPB.
Leading off the bottom of the 8th for your Buffs, number 21, Mike Mineta.
So Mineta will bat from the left side as he settles in, ready to go. Mineta. He's going to pitch way inside for a ball. Mineta 1 for 3 at the plate today. He had scored 2 runs, though. That pitch misses for ball 2. Mineta batting from the left side, facing Ivan Castro. Pitch is inside for a strike. So 2 balls and a strike on the leadoff man for the Buffaloes. That one's drilled down the left field line. And that one is just out of play, which is too bad because for Mineta, it evens the count at 2-2, but more importantly, nobody over there is the left fielder. Hamlin was pulling more toward left center. Pitch outside for a ball. So that runs the count full. 3 balls and 2 strikes on the leadoff man from Farmingdale, New York. Senior settles in, and that pitch is high and tight for ball 4. So a walk for Ivan Castro. And that'll bring up Ryan Johnson. Johnson's 3 for 3 at the plate today. Scored a run. Good breaking pitch, but that's outside for a ball. Johnson's also walked today, batting .381. Helps that batting average when you're 3 for 3 at the plate. Pitch is fastball inside for ball 2. So 2-0 the count on the left fielder for the Buffaloes. Albuquerque native settles in from the right side. Looks at a strike. Johnson fouls this one off down the right field line. Keeps the count at, or runs the count to 2-2, I should say. As he evens it up. Mineta takes his lead off the bag at first. All holding him on there. Mineta off with a pitch that's drilled down the third base line, fouling out of play. So 2-2 count. So Mineta heads back to first base. Castro gets a new baseball. He's ready to go. That's hit out into right field, and that will fall for a base hit. And so runners at first and second for the Buffaloes, and Ryan Johnson is 4 for 4 today.
Now batting number 22, Adam Becker.
And that'll bring up Adam Becker, who is 3 for 4 at the plate today. Becker batting .490. He's driven in 3. Runners at first and second facing Ivan Castro for the first time. Castro checks Mineta at second, then comes home with it. That pitch misses for ball 1. Will Fenning in the on-deck circle for the Buffs. Castro checks the wristband. And we got Becker swinging for strike 1. So 1-1 the count on the Buff third baseman. Becker with an open stance. wearing the number 22 on his uniform. Got the outside corner for a strike. So 1 ball, 2 strikes for Adam Becker. Adam settles back in, deep in the batter's box. Got that right foot on that back line. Mineta takes his lead. Check swing. And Becker can't believe it. He's getting called out. The home plate umpire called him out, and he wanted to check down the first base line because he didn't think he went. It's out number 1. And the first strikeout for Ivan Castro. That'll bring up Will Fenning. Will got aboard on a walk his last at bat. Will looking for his first hit of the day. He is 0 for 2 at the plate. Outside corner there for a strike. That's drilled out to left field and giving chase. That's over the head of the left fielder. 1 run will come home for the Buffaloes as Fenning will go into second base with the stand-up double. Drives home a run as Mike Mineta comes home to make it 6-0 in favor of the Buffaloes. And we watch here as Fenning just gets all of that one, drives it out into left as the left fielder Hamlin was playing more toward left center, and that one went away from him. And so nice hitting by Will Fenning. That brings up Eddie Savoy. Savoy looking for his first hit with runners at second and third. That ball is outside for a 1-0 count on the Buff first baseman. Savoy facing Castro. Again, the Buff pitchers or batters should be familiar with Castro as that one's down the right field line, fouling out of play. So that evens the count of 1-1, of course. Saying that because Castro pitched at Lubbock Christian. Castro from Lubbock looks at the wristband, now comes home with it. And that's driven out to center field. Back, and sliding underneath it. Everybody tags, everybody advances. So the Buffs get another run as Ryan Johnson comes home to score. And Eddie Savoy flies out to center, but does get an RBI. That'll bring up Corey Schmidt, the designated hitter, who is 3 for 4 at the plate today. Over at third base now is Will Fenning. Off-speed pitch is high for a ball. Schmidt singled his last at-bat, doubled, scored when he doubled, and then singled in the third. Sends this one past the shortstop for a base hit, so he is 4 for 5 today. It's the third hit in the inning for the Buffaloes. And drives in Will Fenning for 3 runs here in the inning. That's going to require a trip to the mound from head coach Gabe Grider. See if he is going to make a pitching change. So we have a pitching change, and we'll bring in the 4th pitcher for UTPB. We'll take a timeout and be back after this on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
It's got the looks, the style, the performance. Your new car is everything you always dreamed of, and now it's here. First Financial Bank was happy to help put you behind the wheel with a new car loan at a competitive rate and fast, friendly, local approval. It's service that just comes naturally to us, much like a love of tradition comes naturally to you. First Financial Bank. You first. Member FDIC.
Well, new pitcher on the hill for UTPB is their fourth pitcher of the ball game. This is Ryan Robinson. He's a senior out of Murrieta, California. Played at Cal State East Bay. He is a 6', 205-pound senior. Pitches right. As Ivan Castro was able to go 2/3 of an inning. Ryan Robinson on trying to get that third out. But the Buffs have been able to score 3 runs. They lead at 8-0. 14 hits. And that'll bring Patrick Donovan to the plate. Patrick is 1 for 4 today. And Patrick settles in to bat from the left side. The junior. Quick throw down to second base, but not in time as Corey Schmidt is taking second base. So Donovan did take a swing. He's down in the count 0-1. That's in there for a strike. Good fastball from Ryan Robinson. So no 2 count on Patrick Donovan. Buffs lead at 8-0, 8 runs on 14 hits. Pitches outside for a ball. So the 1-2 pitch from the right-hander on the way. Outside for a ball. That evens the count at 2-2. Bottom of the 8th inning, Buffs have scored 3 times on 3 hits. That's right up the middle for a base hit. So Patrick Donovan gets aboard on the single. And coming around to score is Corey Schmidt. And actually was a courtesy runner for Corey. It was Paul Whitman. So Paul Whitman comes around to score to make it 9-0 in favor of the Buffs. And that'll bring up Evan Leibel.
That organized single brings up number 20, Evan Leibel.
So Leibel settles in, batting from the left side. Takes a big cut, comes up empty. Evan settles in, ready to go. Here's the pitch. Inside corner for a strike. So Evan down in the count 0-2. Evan 0 for 4 at the plate today. Batting average has dropped to 277. Looking for that first hit today. That pitch is outside for a ball. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. That one misses way outside. That was one that Robinson knew didn't feel good when he let go. So 2 balls, 2 strikes for the catcher for the Buffaloes from Los Alamitos, California. It's going to be low for a ball. So that runs the count full. Now everybody playing back with 2 outs. So Donovan will get a bit of a lead off the bag at first base. Slow roller hit toward the third baseman, and it's going to be a tough play. No play for him, and so Evan Leibel gets aboard with a single. And Patrick Donovan advanced to second base.
Now batting number 4, Seth Ochoa.
We watch here just that slow roller, just no real play in kind of no man's land. No play for Brandon Glowacki. And that'll bring up Seth Ochoa. Seth, who came on last inning in defensive relief after Kix Farrell was hit for. Batting from the right side, batting .255, looks at a pitch inside for a ball. Seth is the 9th batter to come up for the Buffaloes here in the 8th inning. Seth batting from the right side, open stance. Sends this one out into left center field, back, and that's going to be, it's going to drop in as that's going to roll the fence. Another run comes home for the Buffs. 2 more runs will come home for WT on a single for Ochoa. He decided not to leg that one out to second base, but he drives in 2 runs. And that'll be the ball game as the Buffs win this one by a final of 11-0 on that 2-run shot.
That 2-run got a single.
And so that's why Ochoa didn't get it out to second base as we watch the hit here. Just a great shot out into left center field, and that was just over the head of the center fielder, unable to catch up to it. And so the Buffs come away with 11-0 win over UTPB. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back and be back after this on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
Suddenlink is now Optimum, with award-winning internet, TV, and mobile, giving you the power to get closer and go farther with speed and reliability. With our new 100% fiber internet we're building, together with Optimum Mobile, voted #1 in customer satisfaction, you'll get the complete connectivity you deserve. And when you combine Optimum's award-winning connectivity with our 24/7 customer service, your future is only a connection away.
One West is the comprehensive fundraising campaign designed to fuel WT 125 from the Panhandle to the world. We will strengthen WT's impact for the Panhandle region and beyond through a historic, comprehensive campaign, raising $125 million by 2025. The campaign's 3 priorities: people, programs, and places. Now is the time to make a difference for current and future generations. One West.
Jenkins Doors and Windows began serving the Texas Panhandle in 1927, and we take pride in being a part of your neighborhood. We don't use false promises or gimmicks. We simply offer quality doors and windows at a fair price, and we stand behind every sale. Jenkins is family owned and operated, and proudly continues the traditions of quality and excellence that started over 80 years ago. Call us at 372-4336 or stop by our showroom at 820 West 6th and let our knowledgeable staff help you pick out the perfect doors and windows for your home.
Went for a onside kick. Landed on my knee pretty hard and ended up fracturing my femur. I ended up having to go back and have surgery. Even the day after I had surgery, I was back in the clinic here. It's nice to have people help me rehab at a caliber of what I'm used to feeling like I can do. One thing that I really liked was having the access to the turf, because that's what I'm used to playing on. Now, I mean, it feels like nothing had ever happened. You have a choice of where you can go. This is one of the best places in Amarillo.
Welcome to Shimon Dental Group, where every day we're excited to see our patients and treat them like family. We are dedicated to providing you with the highest quality care in a friendly and comfortable environment. Shimon Dental Group's patient-focused philosophy puts your needs front and center.
We are constantly investing in leading-edge technology. Innovations that speed the treatment process and improve aesthetics. We're expanding the breadth of our cosmetic and restorative services through training to provide the best possible outcomes.
Just with the level of commitment that they show to taking care of my family and I, it's absolutely unmatched in this town, so I've been very happy with them.
Brightening smiles for more than 3 decades.
Contact Shimon Dental Group for your appointment today.
Park, as the Buffaloes come away with an 11-0 win, the opening game of this 4-game set with UTPB. Ryan Johnson joins us here on the post-game show. The senior from Albuquerque had a nice day at the plate, 4 for 4. He also walked once. And Ryan, that was the question I asked you. Do you feel kind of comfortable at the plate? And you kind of indicated you feel like you're starting to get there.
Yeah, I think it took myself and a lot of my teammates kind of a while to kind of settle into the batter's box and find their groove as hitters. And I think as a team, we're all kind of starting to do that, so that's a good sign for us.
You know, this is a veteran club, obviously, a lot of seniors, a lot of juniors. And so do you guys know that that's kind of a work in progress thing to kind of get to that point?
I think we know that we have a really good squad, and I think one of our battles early was we're putting a lot of pressure on ourselves, and I think that's part of what we're doing right now is we're starting to loosen up and we're starting to come together as a team and play our best baseball right now.
So you win this one 11-0 today. And to me, it looked like this also was very workmanlike from the defensive standpoint, just going out and taking care of what business you needed to take care of today.
Right, yeah, I think Coach Vanderberg's a huge defensive guy, so he always loves to see when we're nice and clean on defense, and then I think he just trusts our offense that will come through on the offensive side. So.
Doesn't hurt, too, that Nick Marshall went 7 innings in this one today. And I know that the same thing with the pitching staff, those starters also starting to get into a bit of a groove. Does that help you guys relax, not only offensively but defensively as well?
Yes, it definitely helps us. When we, as an offense, we know that our pitcher's just going to go out there and shove. And I think, that was one of the pitchers' battles. They took a while to start settling in, and I think they're starting to do that, especially Nick Marshall. So.
Well, that's what Coach Vanderberg talked about, too. This is a long season. You play a lot of games, so we're just now getting toward the middle of March, and so you still have a lot of baseball to go. But, again, it does feel like you guys are starting to feel I don't want to say more comfortable. I don't think that's probably the word, but just kind of, workmanlike is kind of what you guys have been doing lately.
Right, yeah. I mean, I think the mindset for most of us is find a way to play our best baseball toward the end of the season. And that's something V talked about a lot early is, don't worry if we have some bumps in the road early, we'll work them out and figure it out along the road. So.
Well, that's kind of the key as you get toward the end of the season, too. You want to peak at the right time, and so you guys are starting to build toward that, I would think.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I think today was a good sign of that. Obviously, I think the weather helped. I think it was kind of a relief that, the weather is not howling out.
Right.
But, yeah, I think we're definitely pulling it together as a team, so that makes me happy for sure.
Well, you got 2 going tomorrow, and so again, this is a 4-game set. So 2 tomorrow, 1 on Sunday right now. The weather was a concern, but like you said, it's let up, and so it should be a good couple of days here.
Right. I think the weather's definitely shifted more favorable, so I think that makes everyone a little more comfortable and makes everything about the game better, in my opinion. So.
Well, congratulations on the win. The senior from Albuquerque, a nice win for you guys today.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, Ryan Johnson joining us on the post-game show, and Coach Matt Vanderberg, I think, is in talking. So we'll just wrap this one up from here. Again, the Buffaloes win this one by a final of 11-0. They do so in 8 innings, and so they'll get set for the game tomorrow against UTPB. I'm Bryce Sheets, and a big thanks to the Thunder Vision crew for bringing this one today from Wilder Park. We'll be back for it tomorrow at 2 o'clock, and we'll be on the air at about 10 till 2 tomorrow.